Hey everybody, and welcome to Anime for Life. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that's becoming dangerously close to causing World War III, and that is Uzaki-chan. And after seeing her getting tons and tons and tons of videos recently, I decided I want to take my own little bit of spotlight and time to do my own take. And I think you guys can pretty much guess what that's going to be. And it's to talk about her proportions. But I want to debunk it. I want to debunk all these stupid arguments about her being completely and utterly unrealistic. Because she's not. In fact, she's anything but unrealistic. And I've got proof of that. So we're going to start with a little series called My Love Tiger. And this girl right here is named Nare. And now as you can see, in here he blatantly says he likes her boobs. And he likes her waist and her butt and everything. But keep this in mind. He literally says that her rack is massive, right? So, what do you think her size is? Looking at her, you think she's actually pretty big, right? She's not small by any way, shape, or form. You can't deny that. So I asked a couple of people. I asked a couple of my friends. Looking at her, what would you think her size is? And a lot of them said, well, I would say she's a D, double D. And you know what? I said, you're wrong. She's a C. And they're like, what the hell? There's no way she can be. And yet it's said right here. And that's because for some dumb reason she's supposed to be the head of the Bear Clan, and in order to take position she has to be a D cup. But instead she's a C, and she's got about another year before she reaches that size. But you look at it, that don't look like no damn C cup. And that proves right there that just because a size in a series looks big doesn't mean it's necessarily as big as it looks. Again, don't judge a book by its cover. And when I was doing my research and everything, and for once it's actually research, not research, I actually went to my sister for advice, and I asked her, what's your size? And she says 36C. And so I was doing some more research on that, looking up sizes. And the reason why Nare looks so much bigger than she is because she's Japanese measurements. She's not Western measurements. Everybody knows this character, or most do. This is Mia from Monster Musume. And she's confirmed in her series, to be an F. But that's in Japanese measurements. In Japan, measurements are gone by centimeters. In the West, so in Canada, the United States, etc., we're done in inches. An inch is bigger than a centimeter. If I remember correctly, it's like 3 centimeters to make an inch. And so as the bust size gets bigger and band size and everything gets bigger, there can literally be a difference between 2 to 5 sizes. So although it says she is an F cup in the manga, when I did the comparison, she's actually only a double D. Centauria is confirmed to be an I. But when you go to the Western measurements, depending on the band size, because she was a little more hard to figure out. And the way I guesstimated it, she would actually be, in Western measurements, between a 34G and a 36E. So, still really freaking big, I won't deny. But still smaller than what it says she is. Pappy, on the other hand, there's no real debate. She is small. She is what they said. They said she is an A cup. But she actually still would be slightly smaller than what they said. Let's say they said she was like that 34A. Well, she'd be like a 33A. But an A still nonetheless. So she is, still right. And now we have Toru from Kobayashi no Dragon Maid. She, again, is a little hard to describe because, she says, I'm D for dragon, right? So is she an actual D, or is she just, being cutesy? And, what's a D for an actual dragon versus a D for a human, right? So lots of factors. But I said, let's go by human measurements. But a D in Japanese measurements, no matter what the band size is, XC, whether it be like a 36C by like the 80-inch band size, or a 28C by a 60-inch band size. It doesn't matter. It's a C. She's going to be a C no matter what. She's still smaller than what it says she is. Despite her boobs looking massive, she's still smaller compared to the American versus Japanese size. And now we have Kirika from Aiken, literally the queen of all boobs. She's from the series where you get a little bit of anime with your boobs. She is a 39B, not a 39G. However, she is actually on a scale that is beyond what is actually measurable, because she is a 103 on the actual band size. So in that case, yeah, I would actually give it to you that she is unrealistically big. She would break her spine with that kind of rack size. However, the difference between a 39B and a 39G at like that 103 band size is about 5 cup differences. In this one, I had to approximate because the research site that I had only, I think, went up to about 90, I think. 90 or 100, something like that. It didn't actually go up to what she ranked as, so I had to guesstimate. But even still, she is not as big in Western measurements as it says she is in the anime/manga. Now, another reason why these arguments of they're not realistic, they're completely objectifying women, and blah, 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 it's sexualization, blah, 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 doesn't hold any weight, is because there actually are women who have these sizes. And I've looked this up to be sure of that. And I've actually found 3 women in the world who naturally have those sizes. And in fact, there's a woman here who actually had one bigger than the women listed here. The anime women listed here. I've only got their names. I didn't decide to put their picture up because I didn't think it was appropriate or respectful to them to post their picture in my video. The first one here, forgive me if I get her name wrong. It's a little out there, but I will do the best I can with this one. Sinetti Sue Gedinza. And she is a 40 I cup. And let's just say she is big. Like, really big. And she's an African American woman. I believe she's African American. She's black anyway. And all of these women say that they desperately need a reduction. And actually the one, I can't remember which of the 3 I've got here, managed to actually managed to actually get one. And I'm happy for her because she literally said it felt like her back was breaking every day. She couldn't even sleep. It was hard to do anything. So good on her for able to get it. But Geninza, she was a 40 I cup. The next one here, Fiona Hornby. She literally was an Uzaki-chan. Uzaki is one of the few instances who actually was confirmed in both Japanese measurements and American measurements to be a J cup. Fiona Hornby was a 48 J cup. And I believe she was the one who actually couldn't help that. She had a condition, a rare medical condition, where her chest size just continually grew, nonstop. And it said by the time she was like 10 years old, she was already a G cup. And it just grew and grew and grew. There was nothing she could do to stop it. The last one, Sheridan Larkman, was a 12K. And again, she was looking for anything to do that she could to get this reduction. The problem is this reduction was something like a $10,000 to $20,000 operation, and she just didn't have the money for it. So she opened a GoFundMe, and hopefully she can meet that mark, because nobody wants to live in misery. My final point would be childlike appearances, because that's one of the biggest things they're saying. They're saying, oh, she looks like a child, so it sexualizes children and yada yada yada, even though we got this little thing called cuties showing up, which I can't even look at the poster, let alone the damn clips. I just get disgusted at that. But that's another video for another time. They go on saying that despite being 19, Uzaki-chan looks too much of a child and should basically be canceled. She shouldn't have anything to do. So, you know what? I'm going to show you a picture of myself. This was only 4 years ago. This is me and my sister. Quite a bit taller than her. She's always been really short. But this is me before I had my beard out. People would always mistake me for, and this is being generous, they would always mistake me for a maximum of 16 years old. This was in 2016. I'm 32 this year. So this means I was 28 and people were confusing me for a top of 16. A lot of people thought I was like 14, 15. And people are bitching about Uzaki, who is 19, and saying she's too childlike. So does that mean I'm a child? I must be. I must be a kid. Sorry, girls. Anyone who says, "Oh, damn, this guy's sexy on TV," sorry, you're pedophiles. Sorry. And that must mean my teacher, my English teacher, who was shorter than Uzaki-chan. Uzaki, I think they said, was 5'4". She was only 4'11". So I guess my English teacher must be a child too. Because I was watching this other YouTuber. I already can't remember his name, even though it was like an hour ago. But he said that Uzaki was about 6 heads tall. He was only 5.5, so I guess he must be a child too. And if my teacher was only 4'11", that means she would only be like 3 or 4 heads tall. So everything I've just shown you and talked about completely debunks everything these people are saying. And you know what? Even if I got all of these measurements wrong, and you know my information and accuracy is a little bit off, because you know I'm a guy. I don't wear bras. I don't go. You know, buying them. I don't need to wear them. The fact of the matter is the measurements will still be off, because we do inches, they do centimeters. So the cup sizes won't be the same. Ours will still be slightly smaller, or even big, a lot smaller, as the cup sizers get larger and larger simply because they are not measured the same. So just because a girl looks like she's got a really huge rack may not actually be as big as you seem to think it is. But these people just look at it and be like, "Oh, that's unrealistic. She's sexualized. That should be like banned." But again, that's because people of their class or you know group, they judge a book by its cover. They don't look into it, and in the end, when they make stupid videos like this, or they call our group out who do their research, they just look like fools. You know what? As my grandfather always says, never assume anything because it makes an ass out of you and me. And these people do a lot of assuming. But you know what? I'm going to leave it there. I think I've made my point. If I may have been wrong on a couple of things, by all means, tell me. I am more than willing to learn from my mistakes and, try to improve because being corrected is how you improve. And I don't want to spread false information like a lot of these people like to do. So, you know what? By all means, call my shit out if I'm wrong. I'd more than be happy to hear your opinions, read your comments below. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you like this. And I hope to see you in some more videos next time. But until then, keep enjoying anime and anime for life.